So today I have this beautiful V6 Amarok in for a lift kit that we supply and obviously fit. So what I'm going to be doing now is stripping the front right side to start off with, removing the shock coil spring in its entirety. Then essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen off the shock top mounting, put that new shock top mounting onto my new shock and coil spring assembly, assemble accordingly, do the same thing on the other side. So yeah, come along with me and let's get cracking. Okay guys, so now I'm going to remove the air box on the driver's side in order to get to our shock top mounting bolt. I'm then going to go to the passenger side and just loosen off the ECU as well as its brackets. Move it one side just so I can get an extension and a socket down there to loosen the shock top mounting bolt. Removing the electrical sensor, as well as I'm going to loosen the caliper off now, as well as the 1T30 that will hold this bracket in. I'm then going to secure the caliper so that it does not hang from its lines, obviously damaging the line. As soon as that's out the way, I can start removing my tie rod end, upper ball joint, as well as the shock absorber. Okay, so now we have finished stripping the right hand side. I'm going to drop the shock down now. It's just the last shock top mounting bolt. I'm going to strip this side exactly the same way in which I did the opposite side. Obviously just getting it till the one shock top mounting bolt holds it in place. Then I'll remove that bolt, remove both shocks, and then happy days and start with our conversion. Guys, so now that we've got the whole shock and the coil spring out as a whole component, now I'm going to put a coil spring compressor on, which is essentially going to compress the coil spring in order to relieve tension from the shock top mounting, so I can remove the bolt, take the shock top mounting, put it on our new strut assembly, tighten everything up, and happy days from there. I've converted everything onto our new shock, and as you can see, our brand new coil as well as our brand new shock is in. And yeah, time to close up. Do the same thing on the opposing side, then start with the rear and the spaces in the rear. So now we are moving on to our rear side. Our front side's all assembled, and now we're obviously going to start in the back. So I'm going to start off nice and simple. I'm going to, while the vehicle's still able to be lifted up and down on the lift, I'm going to loosen our top and lower shock bolt on both sides. I'm then going to drop the vehicle down and secure the rear diff or axle onto a set of trestles so that I can remove both shocks without obviously the axle twisting and falling out. And then thereafter, I'm going to loosen our leaf springs off, put the diff spacer in with the locator, and then close up accordingly. So now we are finished in the back. Me and Alex here, we're just going to finish down torquing the last few bolts down. And there's just one thing I want to mention and or explain. As you can see here, we have our diff spacer as well as with our new extended U bolts. Now, one thing I just want to make clear is that a lot of mistakes that people make when doing lift kits on vehicles, especially the Amaroks and things like that, there's a central nut through your leaf spring, and essentially there's also a little recess in your diff where that nut would obviously go in order to locate everything and keep everything tight. Now, when you get given a spacer, often there either won't be a hole in the middle or there won't be an actual pin essentially to locate the diff to the spacer. So now if you go put that spacer in, yes, it's going to be secure according to the leaf spring, but according to the diff, there'll be actual no central locator for it in order to keep it where it is. And now what that means is over time, eventually it's all going to loosen up and the vehicle's actually going to start to crab. So your front wheel will, your back right or left right will obviously shift accordingly, causing wheel alignment issues on the vehicle, obviously with future issues. So it's closed up. We re-torqued all the bolts, went over everything one last time. We're busy torquing up the wheels in order for us to go test. After testing, I'll put it back on the lift just to ensure everything is seated nicely and happy with how it is. And then last test in the wash bay and happy days. Board with me as I go and test drive the vehicle. So essentially what I'm going to be doing, I'm rocking the car from left to right ever so slightly, just to ensure that there's no knocking noises or anything from the suspension. I'm also going to go find one or two rather steep pavements and or speed bumps and hit them at a little bit more of an increased speed, just to ensure that everything is performing its job correctly and that everything is seating nicely
and that obviously there's no form of noises and things like that. After a thorough testing of the vehicle, I was very happy with how the vehicle was driving, how it was performing, no noises off the suspension and things like that. I'll always just do a one last check. So I put it back on the lift, work back through everything, just have a look and make sure that everything's seated correctly, everything's happy where it is, and everything was perfectly fine. So thereafter, vehicle goes to wash bay, customer came to collect, I had a quick chat with him, he was happy, and then happy days.